DJ to the mixer, from my fingers to the fader. Raise your hands up to the speakers. You are here to entertain us. From the DJ to the mixer, from my fingers to the fader. Raise your hands up to the speakers, because this is for the ragers. From the DJ to the mixer, from my fingers to the fader. Raise your hands up to the speakers. You are here to entertain
All right. I am unsure if anybody can hear me. So it looks like Jen is working in the background, trying to get us up and back in on this program. So if you are standing by, please continue to stand by. Jen, I think I see you. Can I hear you now or no? I hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can.
Okay. So hang on for just 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
With a little bit of echo on your side, girl, but I can see and hear you, so we're in the right direction. We have some very patient people.
All right, hang with us, everybody.
We saw 30 people on YouTube.
I have my tech guy right here next to me, so. You would think we'd be able to get this done. Can you unmute this computer?
Yep. So this is, should be online now?
Okay. This one is.
I want to mute this one?
Yeah.
This is on.
There we go. I think we have it.
Great.
Okay, everybody, let me know in the comments. Can you hear me? Am I broadcasting? Yes, we're getting a thumbs up. Yes, great. Okay. Thank you to Russ Ryba. He's the master behind this all. So Lisa, let's just get on with the show, okay?
I'm sure people are enjoying looking at my face in
I
live
don't even remember
time
what
and
we
on the
were
screen.
talking about.
Yeah, okay. So everybody got a chance to see the agenda that was frozen on the screen. So I hope you all took the opportunity to review that, because we do have a really fun, jam-packed program this evening. We're actually going to have 2 pitches, and then we're going to have a few bar napkin pitches. Michigan Tech is here. We'll walk you all the way through it. So now that we're back in action, Jen, do you want me just to roll through?
Yeah, let's just go. Yeah,
Okay, great.
we like to roll pretty fast through here.
We are rolling. So become a member. We offer this program free of charge for any of those of you that are able to join us live when we get back to joining live. Right now, we are all virtual, but we do have a membership opportunity that helps keep the lights on, and it also helps take care of any other incidentals. So become a member, scan that, check us out at TCNewTech.org, and you can get a nice t-shirt. Tonight, we have a pitch prize sponsor from the Huskies. So we want to welcome MTU, Michigan Technical University, and some of those folks, and a big thank you for their collaboration with our community, as well as sponsoring our $500 pitch prize this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you're at. Michigan Broadband's fantastic. They have been a sponsor of ours for quite some time. I can't hear their video, but Michigan Broadband provides broadband fiber to those in our community. If you'd like to connect with them, their phone number is there. Sarah Hunt actually assists with the TCNewTech, has been around a long time, and she can help you get connected. So big thanks to Michigan Broadband and their many years of support. Tonight, in the way that we're going to vote, everybody will need their cell phones. So keep that near and dear. We're actually going to vote 2 times tonight. So typically we vote all the way at the end. So for those of you that are new, you wouldn't know that, but those of you that are typically waiting, please get your phone close to you, because we're going to have 2 opportunities. Also note that when we vote, it's not the end of our show. We're going to keep going. So without further ado, I want to welcome Stephen with NanoSound. Stephen, take it away.
All right, first one up, no pressure. Okay, can you see my screen?
Not yet. I see the announcement screen. There you go. I can see you.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, hello everyone. My name is Steven Sanchezin. I'm the president and co-founder of NanoSound, along with my partner, Dr. Andrew Bernard. And at NanoSound, we're really focused on making mechanical systems quiet, because in our everyday lives and in the office, we're constantly bombarded with these different sounds and distractions, and that can really take a toll on us. This can increase our stress levels, this can lower our productivity, and even lead to long-term hearing damage. And one of the main culprits of this excess noise problem is the heating and ventilation system. So you have this big air handler moving all of the air through the building, but this generates a ton of noise. And that noise travels all throughout the ductwork until it spills out into the office from the duct outlet that you see here. And from there, it goes on to create all of these negative side effects. And we don't just see this problem in office buildings. We see this in hospitals, where excess noise can increase patient recovery time, classrooms, where it can lower student learning outcomes, and hotels, where it can reduce customer satisfaction. And right now, the only way to mitigate some of the noise generated by those air handlers is by implementing a passive duct silencer. And these work by absorbing some of that sound energy. But these systems are extremely bulky and heavy. They're ineffective at removing low frequency noise, and they're full of these fibrous materials that break down over time and pollute the airway. And so at NanoSound, we wanted to take a different approach to this problem. And we took our inspiration from noise canceling headphones, because these provide real-time adaptive comfort and changes depending on your surroundings. So we want to take that concept, but instead of applying it at the listener's ear, we want to apply it directly inside the duct and prevent that sound from becoming a problem in the first place. And to do that, we've developed the NanoSound speaker. And this is a revolutionary new type of speaker that's ultra lightweight and flexible. And that allows us to seamlessly line this inside the duct so that we can provide that active noise control right at the source. And by using a NanoSound speaker in place of these passive silencer systems, we can reduce the cost by up to 50%, reduce the size and weight of the installation by up to 90%, and improve the performance of the air handler, because you're no longer creating that obstruction to the airflow, all while providing 10 times greater noise reduction. And we've looked into a lot of different markets for this technology, but we think that the HVAC market really makes a strong beachhead market, because there's lower regulations in this area. And that allows us to provide custom solutions to the people that really need it the most. And so then we can grow our customer base and scale the company at the same time. And to help us with this, we have two key partners that we're working with. The first is on the technical side, Great Lakes Sound and Vibration, based here in Houghton, Michigan. And the second is Industrial Air, who's an OEM of these large air handling units based out of Gaylord. And we've really had a lot of great traction behind this technology. Through Michigan Tech, we've raised over $900,000 to date, all in non-dilutive grant funding. And this has really put us in a strong position where we were able to spin out the company from the university earlier this year, and allowed us to pursue our seed funding so that we can finalize our minimum viable product and launch our product in mid-2021. And to help get us to that point, we're currently raising a $250,000 SAFE round, of which we have $50,000 currently committed from Superior Innovations. And these funds will help us build out our team so that we can finalize that MVP and really put us in a strong position for next year so that we can raise our Series A and really get everything in place for pre-production support and manufacturing and get ready for that initial product launch. And right now, the NanoSound team currently consists of myself. I'm also a research engineer at Michigan Tech and currently transitioning full-time to the company. And Dr. Andrew Bernard, who's the inventor of the NanoSound technology. And he's also the director of the Great Lakes Research Center and an associate professor at Michigan Tech. And then we have Steve Tokars, who's our acting CEO, and he has a lot of experience in startups and entrepreneurship. And then to round out our team, we're also looking to bring in additional help on the technical side, as well as help with sales and business development. And so that's just a quick overview of what we're working on at NanoSound and Michigan Tech. So thank you guys for the opportunity to present tonight, and I'd be happy to answer any questions, or feel free to shoot us an email afterwards too. Thank you. So I can see, do you want me to pull up the questions on here?
You can actually, if you want to leave it on a screen where the folks can contact you if they'd like to, that sometimes is
Okay.
helpful. You could also write it into the comments in case someone missed it. This is a little bit of a lag time sometimes between YouTube and Facebook before they pop up. But is there in the interim, is there a question that you get asked most frequently that you'd like to share?
One of the most frequent questions that we get asked is, what is the durability in terms of installation? And that's one of the areas we're currently researching is how we can design this to better, I guess, withstand these different environmental conditions in the HVAC systems, and really make that a product that can compete with these passive silencers that you install for 15 plus years, and have something that's comparable on that scale. Great.
There is a question that came through. I'm not sure if you can see that on your side. I'll read it to you. Who owns the IP, and is it MTU?
Yes, the IP is owned by Michigan Tech, and we currently have an agreement with them to license the technology for NanoSound.
What is your ask of our audience?
So our audience, if you are interested in investing, we're looking for investors currently, or if you have contacts or potential partnerships that would be beneficial, we're always open for networking.
That's great. Give it a couple seconds here and see if anybody else pops through with a question. I see your email address up there on NanoSound. You're looking for capital, and one question has come through. Please explain the automotive application.
So in the automotive industry, we're looking to apply this in the exhaust system. So it would be an active noise control solution to replace an existing muffler. And then we're also looking at it for interior active noise cancellation as well. So having that in the HVAC duct system, where that kind of comes through the front dash, and reducing that. So when you have that on full blast, you don't have that obnoxious tone.
Great. John would like to know, what are the terms and conditions of the safe note?
We can get into that later, if someone would like to reach out afterwards.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much, NanoSound, for being here with us today. We'll hope to have the chance to see you back, and have a wonderful evening. Moving on with the program, we have an exciting announcement from Bill Myers to share with us about the Husky Innovation at MTU and our collaboration here in Grand Traverse Region. Hi, Bill.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Thanks for joining us. It's great to see lots of virtual faces up here. And thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad we had this opportunity. Tonight is really the culmination of 3 years worth of work that we've put into just developing a relationship with Michigan Tech, and it's really a relationship with one community and another. And it's the Michigan Tech region and our region. And so there's 5 areas of engagement that we've agreed upon in an MOU that we signed about 1.5 years ago with Michigan Tech. And it's non-binding, but it really lays out just a roadmap for the pillars of how we're going to work together. One of those areas is the area of pre-college engagement. So helping our K-12 systems develop talent and develop kids that are just with interest sparked to pursue STEM kinds of fields. Perhaps going to Michigan Tech, but perhaps going to other schools as well. But we also have the second pillar, which is the engagement at the college level. So for instance, working with NMC. And I'm happy to say that last year we signed 7 new articulation agreements between NMC and Michigan Tech, so kids can transfer from our local community college up to Tech to finish a bachelor's degree. There's more on the way as well. Dr. Jerry Doback at NMC has really been a key guy in making this happen, so I would thank him, as well as Steven Siciliano and Nick Nisley and Tim Nelson before them. I would also mention the third pillar, which is in the area of economic development. So how tech can help us attract businesses and help us just generally develop and deepen our economy with more of the knowledge-based generation of jobs. We also have a pillar pertaining to industry and the support of industry, for instance, in the area of research and talent development. And finally, in the area of community development. How do we develop healthy and sustainable communities and make this place a great place to live with the resources that tech has available to them and the minds and the interest and the entrepreneurial spirit that exists here in Traverse City? So that's what we're up to. Your input is welcome. We do have a steering committee that represents many parts of our community, including TCAPS, NMC, the Intermediate School District, various employers, Munson and Haggerty, and so on. So it's a great opportunity to get engaged. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any ideas or suggestions about how we can grow the relationship over time. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. And thank you, MTU, for your collaboration and being here today. We would not be able to provide you with this great program without some supporting sponsors. So we want to recognize Susan Safferty-Rouser with State Farm, our SCORE representatives. There are plenty. Northern Michigan Angels, of course, and their team, as well as Mr. Blake Bernard with Home Waters Real Estate. So, and we have the Nielsen Family Foundation. And thank you. You guys caught me in a little flub there. So anyway, moving on. Thank you to the Nielsen Family Foundation very much. I want to welcome Steve with Stabilux. Steve, how are you tonight?
Excellent. How are you guys?
Everybody is good and excited to hear about Stabilux.
Great. Can you see the screen now?
I can see a lot of screens. There you go. And there, perfect. Great.
Excellent. Well, imagine being a biomedical researcher. You'll spend your entire life looking for these cells. Yeah, cells of every type, every nature. But today, it's difficult to see the cells you want. We at Stabilux are going to allow biomedical researchers to detect what was previously undetectable. And it's all biomedical researchers in research, discovery, diagnosis. This can even be something that could be used to detect COVID in vaccines. And we just received more funding to do that. And it all starts with our brand new technology, our high brightness dyes. So they're completely out of the mainstream. We start with a nanotube, and that nanotube serves as a carrier. And on that nanotube, we can take these. These are fluorescent dyes. We add a linker, and then we can add as few or as many of these dye linkers to make this fluorophore as bright or slightly bright. Because today, I'm stuck using antibodies that can only use a few markers. And if there are more markers on the cells, then those fluorescent particles may detect what you want. But as those markers get fewer and fewer, it becomes harder and harder to detect. Our Stabilux technology can still take that antibody, that marker. We now add it to our construct that has thousands of fluorescent particles, and we can make the one look like the many. As we add more dyes, now as markers become more prevalent, we can have the cell look thousands of times brighter, thereby allowing detection of anything in any magnitude. So it's a proprietary dye technology. We've already filed 5 patents. It's imaging based. So we start with flow cytometry, but then we can move to microscopy. We can measure on the cell, in the cell, and messages between cells. A whole breakthrough. We're going to unleash the next 50 years of biomedical innovation. And the value, well, like we said, researchers are going to be able to detect what was previously undetectable. But now reagent manufacturers, those people who make that agent that has the fluorescent particles, they'll have a whole new line of products, almost like the new Tide with brighter, high brightness flow technology. And then, of course, the instrument producers, they're going to be able to use the full capability of the instruments that are restrained today simply because we don't have dies that could go through the machine. So the value, we Novolux make dies. We're going to sell those dies to these leading reagent producers, and then they're going to leverage their sales and distribution market to sell it nationally to all the labs that would use this type of product. But additionally, we'll make our own specialty reagent, and that will go to specialty markets like Michigan, Harvard, Stanford. So we're already in strategic discussions with the leading partners. But what we realized is we're supporting not only the clinical and research market, but the emerging markets in spectral flow and then other imaging. And we're already in active conversations with the leading industry partners to start being investment partners and development partners to help launch the product to market. We already got 2.7 million raised, 1.7 in grants, $1 million in investors. And I'm glad to say that we were just recently notified that we'll get probably another $750,000 in grants. And that would be used, like I said, for some of this COVID research, but also to expand the product line and get it to market. So we are raising a Series A. It's $3 million. And with that, we're seeking strategic collaborators. We're going to scale the product. We're going to validate it. And then we're also going to scale the manufacturing operations to meet customer demand. And we're already sending samples to key partners, but we'll work with them to make sure they meet the market expectations. We have a strong team. We've been doing this for years, but Jochen Yap, our founder, he's been working on the foundational technology for the last 12 years. And Nazmiya Yapshai, she was also one of our Michigan Tech students. She's our heart and soul, and she drives the organization. And our advisory panel, very pragmatic. Jack Ball has actually led companies in this space to successful acquisition. And Kirsten Willman, 20 years experience. Mark Ellert serves on our board. We're talking about a seasoned team ready to bring this to market. So we appreciate you for listening to our technology, and we look forward to more conversation.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So we do have an opportunity for several questions. We have about 5 minutes. If you'd like to share your screen, Steve, with any contact information, you're welcome to. You can also make a comment on the side there. And again, we'll give it a minute for the questions to start coming through. In the meantime, do you have, I can think of a lot of questions, but do you have one that is frequently asked that you'd like to answer for the audience tonight?
Well, typically the question we get asked is there anyone else doing this like us? And the answer is no. You know, most people take a look at that particle and they try to make it brighter. But few have thought about taking particles, no matter how bright they are, and putting them on a carrier. Revolutionary. And it couldn't be done before because it's truly that nanotube we use. It took a lot of years of development. And then, you know, we've made it through major milestones after major milestone. We're really down to that last step to work with the folks who know more about biomedical engineering than we do and use their sales and distribution market to get it to the end user.
Okay. Thank you. John would like to know, does your product require FDA approval?
No, in longer versions, we do expand on that. So we're going to start in the research market. That research market does not require FDA approval. Now, as we expand and we work with these strategic partners, then we move to the clinical market where, you know, it could be used inside the body to, like, you know, have imaging of cancer tissues and things of that nature. But no, we go to market without any FDA approval.
That's great. Okay. Anybody else? Well, you do have another minute here if you would like to share anything else that you feel like the audience would benefit from knowing, or any other frequently asked question while we wait for those to come through, you can.
Yeah, so, you know, the state of Michigan works really well in this early stage ecosystem. So Stablex, as you can imagine, these nanotubes, you know, that are in the lab from Dr. Jochen Yap, who would have thought we'd be in a position now to really change how this is going to change the next 50 years of biomedical innovation. And it came because NSF came in. But we had Michigan Economic Development Corporation come through several programs. Early on, what they call MTRAC, and then the Emerging Technology Fund, and the Economic Growth Institute. And then within Michigan Tech, through Tech Transfer, there's been tremendous help, through the Tech Transfer T3N network, Superior Innovations, who's been a host and a sponsor of this. But then Early Angels, Innovation Shores Angels Network, are investors in this. Local people are investors in this. We've actually talked to a lot of the people up in Northern Michigan Angels as well. So, we're looking at positioning this where it's platform. And, our first exit could look like, $50 to $100 million. And then we have several exits after that. And none of that happens without the ecosystem that supported this. So this is a poster child of what can work within Michigan.
That's excellent. We'd love to be part of that story for you. Do you have any revenue projections or timing?
Yeah, so our revenue now has been by grants. And this year we'll probably get another $350,000 in grants. And we'll probably sell some of those samples. We're estimating about $60,000 to $75,000. But next year's the year we really kick it off. And as you remember in that slide, we, little Stablux, would have difficulty selling a product direct to like clinicians or researchers at universities. We need the Beckmans of the world. We need the BioLegends of the world. And so those are the type of people that we'll work with together to get it to market. And that's what revenues will project. But really the play here is to get a dye construct that these guys need so bad, they can't live without it. And so the revenues need to be a point where they'll ultimately need this, they'll absorb the technology, and then we'll work as co-developers as they hopefully take this to the next level with us.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Steve, with Stablux Biosciences. We appreciate you and your team being with us tonight. And stick around for the voting here in just a couple moments. We'd like to introduce Lauren Bigelow, or reintroduce. She's been here before. Executive Director with 20 Fathoms. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Lisa. How's it going tonight? Just want to give you guys an update on what's happening in August and September with 20 Fathoms. We've got our TC Codes professional development events. We've got a whole slew of them coming for the fall. You should watch in August for all the developer events that we'll have coming from September through December. What to expect with our TC Codes? We've got all of our presenters are industry experts. They're interactive sessions. We will have some that are hybrid here and out, but we're mainly going to be doing online sessions. We've also got a really supportive community of tech professionals that come along with TC Codes. And with that, we're going to be having these classes upcoming in August, C#, a two-parter, and then some soft skills, some LinkedIn for students and young professionals to get their online resume together, which is really what LinkedIn is. We've also got some cybersecurity, DevOps, Agile and Scrum classes along with C# and Python fundamentals coming this fall. So look for those. And all of our classes are free to the public in the Grand Traverse area. So look forward to having you in our classes. To be able to really create a platform out of TC Codes for the development community, new in August, we're going to be starting a TC Codes newsletter, really looking at bringing together all of the developers, all of the remote workers, and our tech community into a newsletter talking about things happening across Northern Michigan, in the state, and also in the region. So for folks who want to sign up for that, go to our 20fathoms.org newsletter and then mention TC Codes. We're also accepting new members at our space. We are downtown on the corner of Front and Park. We've got great fiber internet, conference rooms, advanced tech, teleconferencing, conference and snacks, and then workshop beer, 2 taps on at any point in our kitchen. So we're steps away from the park, beach, and all the restaurants downtown. We're in that few blocks that's been cordoned off as a boulevard. So really nice to just take a walk during the afternoons, take a break, do a walking meeting from our front steps. We've got 4 membership options that are available, from day passes all the way through a dedicated desk. Again, join our newsletter, register for some of our upcoming events. And then we've got a job board and a number of new educational opportunities that will be up coming in the next week. So if you sign up for our newsletters, you'll be apprised on those as soon as possible. Thanks. Thanks, Lisa. Turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, 20 Fathoms, for always being a big part of this ecosystem. And we are looking forward to hearing now from Ranit with Focus. Hi, Ranit. Welcome to TCNewTech tonight.
Hi, thank you so much. Let me share my screen. Can you see it now?
Yes.
In a world where 80% of the blindness is preventable, eye banks play a major role in collecting, preserving, and distributing eye tissues for transplant. Good evening. My name is Ronit Karmakar. I am a graduate student at Michigan Tech, and today I'll talk about eye banks and focus. Let us first look how an eye bank operates now. With the death of a donor, a nearby eye bank is notified. The technician reaches to the location, collects the tissue, and brings it back to the eye bank's location. Then it is processed and using costly microscopes that digitize it, analyze it manually, and then produce a report about the corneal health. Then that report is attached to the donor's medical history, and then finally they decide whether the tissue can be used for transplant or not. As you can understand, it is a long process which requires a lot of trained technicians, costly devices, time, procedures, and most importantly, money. In the US, eye banks spend between $1,500 and $4,500 per donor. And after all of this is done, they waste about 40% of their resources because the collected corneas are unhealthy. They go to waste. Let me give you some more numbers. This is United States. Under Eye Banks Association of America, there are 57 member eye banks, which operated on over 68,000 donors in 2019. At a 40% waste rate and $3,000 per donor cost, it's a waste of $81 million. Too much, right? That is where we come into picture. We propose fast ocular checkup system. In short, Focus. Focus is a small set of lenses attachable to any smartphone to capture corneal images. And then our AI-powered mobile application can quickly produce a report about the overall corneal health. This device does not require the technicians to harvest the cornea beforehand, and our proprietary technology can reduce the overall process and time. For the product, the eye banks would need to pay $10,000 for the device, which is one third of the price of the current microscopes that they use. Additionally, for the software, we would charge $200 per donor. This pay-as-you-go kind of a model reduces their upfront cost, making the device much more adaptable. And even after paying us for our system, each iBank will be able to save about $500,000 every year. Based on our initial research, there are no company which is currently working in a similar technology, giving us a competitive edge, and we plan to keep it this way by collaborating with more and more iBanks. On the regulatory side, as this is a diagnostic device that is used on donor corneas, there is low to no regulatory hurdles to overcome. And finally, we are looking to raise $200,000 to hire software engineers to develop the prototype software with me based on our already available algorithm. We are also hoping to hire a full-time marketing professional who would help us in the collaboration process. As I talked about the problem, solution, and the business plan, the question comes, why us? The us in focus comes from an amazing team of individuals coming from different parts of the country with different personal and professional experiences. The engineering and business team consists of computer science researchers and business developers from Michigan Tech who has successfully developed and led ventures. Our medical advisors are from UCLA and Johns Hopkins University, One of our advisor is a professor and a researcher at Wilmer Eye Institute, Johns Hopkins, which is the one of the best eye research institute in the US. And our first collaborating eye bank is Rocky Mountain Lions Eye Bank, Colorado, who has agreed to share their data with us and become an early adopter. We are also in contact with two other eye banks in Florida and Utah, and together we plan to come and create this a reality. Create focus. Focus. Faster, sharper, better. Thank you so much for listening. Feel free to reach out to us.
All right, fantastic, Ranit. Thank you so much. So we are going to open the floor now for a few minutes of questions. And I think I'll ask you, like I did the other folks, while we wait for those to come through our social media platforms. Is there a question, Ranit, that is frequently asked?
Yes, we are mostly asked that how far are we on the timeline, and how long would it take for us to go from lab to market? So we currently have a prototype algorithm ready, and we are looking somewhere between um, 12 to 18 months to finally release a product. Our prototype software could take between 6 months to a year to produce, and with that we can collect more data on which we can, uh, based on those data, we can improve our technology and finally go to market within 18 months. And that is the question that we are mostly asked.
Okay. We have a question here that says, how did you decide to focus on this technology? A little pun on
It's a
the
very good question. Actually, it actually comes from my research. I'm a graduate student and a research student here at Michigan Tech, and it started very small with our collaborating doctors that we are saying. We were having a discussion, and then we realized that with this technology there is a big need. I just focused about iBank because that is our primary target market now, but this has a big scope in clinical research as well as in medical clinics as well. So that is the main reason. That is where we found this problem as an engineer and an entrepreneur. We wanted to solve the problem, and that is what brought us here.
Okay, thank you. We have another question for you. When do you expect to make your first sale? And please describe the types of potential buyers.
Mhm. We hope to make our first market sell within 18 to 24 months. And our first target market, as I mentioned, would be iBanks. We are developing this technology specifically focused for the iBanks. But there is a scope for expansion because this is the exact same technology that is used in any optometrist or ophthalmologist clinic. This is the same technology that is used in corneal transplant technology, corneal transplant research, and that is why we can expand this in the future to uh, to the researchers as well as to the doctors.
Great. There is another question here. Oh, one says, first of all, it says, great job, Ranit. And then they ask, do you have competitors?
There are no current company that is working on similar technologies, so there are no potential competitors that are in the same field. The only competitors I could say could be the microscope manufacturers who manufacture the current available microscopes, but still we are not we are uh, there are some overlapping areas, but we are not completely overtaking over their technologies. So that won't be a very big risk for them and for us as well.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Ranit, with Focus. Please stay tuned. We're going to be ready for voting here in just a moment, so stay close, please. And we will move into a couple of announcements very quickly before we get to our are voting. So we want to thank some of our in-kind sponsors. So Ms. Kelly Ignis, she's actually a board member and with Workshop 67 with web design and support, and all of the many in-kind sponsors listed here. If you'd like to become a sponsor, visit us at our website. And I'd like to welcome Camille Hoisington with Traverse Connect. Hi, Camille. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for having me. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Camille Hoisington, and I'm here this evening to give you the latest update from Traverse Connect. Tonight's episode is a shameless plug that's all about our podcast series, which is brought to you by our Creative Coast initiative. So what's this podcast series all about? Well, it's a 12-part podcast series with episodes being released weekly on Tuesdays. And each episode explores the stories of creative entrepreneurs who have made Traverse City their home.
Hey, Camille.
Yeah.
Can you share your screen, doll? I can't see what you're...
What do you need me to do?
Oh, I wasn't sure if you had a screen to share.
Oh, I do. Sorry about that.
I can't see much. If you can see, this beautiful sunshine is right in my face, but I happened to notice. There we go.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you.
All right, I will start again. All right, good evening. I'm Camille Hoisington. I'm here from Traverse Connect. So I'm going to talk all about our Creative Coast podcast series tonight. And this is a 12-part podcast series with episodes being released weekly on Tuesdays. And each episode explores the stories of creative entrepreneurs who have made Traverse City their home. The series has been produced by us at Traverse Connect, the Grand Traverse Region's economic development organization, in partnership with podcasting company Heirloom Media. And the series is made possible thanks to generous support and funding from the Michigan Film and Digital Media Office. And like I mentioned, each episode focuses on an entrepreneur working within one of the 12 creative sectors as defined by the US Census Bureau. So what that means is that these sectors include everything from architecture, design, performing arts, and music to other creative technologies such as software engineering, advertising, and marketing. We're halfway through our series thus far, so here's some highlights from our first 6 episodes. In episode 1, we meet Erin Anderson Whiting and Kit McKay, the co-founders of Parallel 45 Theatre Company. They're the 2 friends who dreamed of bringing the kind of world-class theatre usually found in big cities such as New York or Chicago to a town of only 15,000 people. Episode 2 focuses on the advertising and marketing sector and tells the story of how a last-minute detour to Traverse City changed the course of Fernando Misa's life. And Fernando is the CEO of Traverse City company OneUp Web. In Answering Your Calling, we hear about the flight that pushed Heather Spooner to quit her job and launch a career, and how she founded Ampersand Lettering Lab. Episode 4 highlights the power couple Jim and Stacey Feely. Stacey is the founder of silicone products manufacturing company Go Silly, and Jim is an animator on hits such as American Dad and Futurama, and they both live and create from right here in Northern Michigan. Episode 5 focuses on the creative writing and publishing community and tells the story of Doug and Ann Stanton and how they helped to transform the Grand Traverse region into a thriving literary community. And today we launched episode 6, which focuses on the creative technology sector. And this episode tells the story of Katie Horvath, the only female CEO of a big data company, and that's Navigo, based right here in Traverse City. So if I've piqued your interest, I strongly encourage you to find your headphones and give this podcast a listen. The podcasts are expertly produced by Heirloom Media and are definitely NPR worthy. You can follow the link on this slide, or you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever else you get your podcasts. All you have to do is search and subscribe to Creative Coast. And you can also catch our episodes every Friday evening on Interlochen Public Radio from 6 to 6:30 p.m. That's all from me, and thanks for listening. Back to you, Lisa.
Thanks, Camille. Thank you, Traverse Connect. That sounds amazing. we are going to get ready to vote. So I think I mentioned earlier, you're going to need your phone. It's very simple to put your vote in. That'll come back up in a second. Get your phone. You'll want to text your choice to that number. And there'll be about 2 minutes in the interim here. We'll get that back up for you. Want to thank again MTU, the Husky Innovate, and everybody involved for their generous donation and $500 sponsorship. So you're going to want to text your vote to 203-529-8755. And NanoSound, if you're voting for NanoSound, you'll type capital AA. For Stabilux Bioscience, you're going to text capital BB. And you've probably already guessed, for Focus, you're going to text capital CC. So it looks like we're bouncing around a little bit in our presentation, but it should be a pretty simple to do. So if you have your phone in front of you, you can text to 203-529-8755. And for NanoSound is AA, Stabilux BB, and Focus CC. So if you're rooting for one of those guys, get your vote in and get your friends to do the same. And hang tight, because one of them are going to win $500. And I'm pretty sure, if you follow my notes, I'm pretty sure we're going to tell you who won. And I am lit up like a Christmas tree with this bright sunshine. So I'm doing my best to read the screen, but hopefully you have all had a chance to put your vote in. Right now, what they're doing is tallying the votes. And sometimes if you've joined us in the past, you'll be able to see them in real time. So we have some really great software engineers that have built some nice tools for us. So tonight we've had a couple technical difficulties, so we thank you for your patience. Just know that they are collecting those votes in the background right now, and they'll be letting you know which one of those 3 fantastic pitches are going to win $500 from Michigan Tech tonight. This is when I need some really good background music. All right, I see somebody. I see Jen backwards. Okay, so you'll have to do me a favor and tell me who to congratulate, because it's difficult to see.
We got 5 seconds left. 4 seconds left.
I see it. Okay, 1 second. And
Say Focus. So Focus is the winner.
Focus is the winner. Congratulations, Ranit. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And stick around, Ranit. We'll chat with you after.
Now we have another vote.
We have one more contest now. So everyone should stick around because we have 2 more pitches left.
So yeah, we're going to hear from a couple of our MTU students. They each have 1 minute to pitch their unique idea, followed by some voting. So we are blessed to have 2 contests this evening. This particular pitch you might recognize as a bar napkin pitch. So once a year we do a little ideation pitching. So it's about 1 minute. They'll each have to pitch their idea. And I do not know if we have questions, but I will let you know. But we are going to vote. And they're going to win $250. So Lucid Coast is sponsoring that. So Mitchell with Innofrative, why don't you join us, Mitchell, and let us know about Innofrative.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on today. I really appreciate it. Give me just a second here and I'll pull up the presentation for you all. Alrighty. Well, hello. My name's Mitchell DeLong and I'm the founder of Innofrative LLC. Last summer, I was an intern at a transportation logistics firm and developed an idea. Less than truckload freight is anything which fits on 1 to 15 pallets, and it includes anything from medical equipment, appliances, auto parts, and more. It's too big for the mail and too small for a semi-truck. Currently, this freight is passed through warehouses where it's consolidated with other freight before moving to a distribution center. Having to maintain warehouses, account for volume volatility, manage lost and damaged freight, this all increases the cost of moving shipments. To avoid this, I developed a virtual solution to consolidate freight through software. This means I don't need a warehouse to consolidate freight, and instead I'll broker a full truckload, which can be carried with much less risk at a lower cost. So that's what Innovative does. We broker freight between shippers and carriers and collect a margin for this unique software consolidation service. Last summer, I was able to save over $400,000 for my client. And if you're interested in further discussing this or partnering with me, please let me know. Thank you so much.
That's great. Thank you, Mitchell. Hang tight with Innovative here, and we will be voting in just a moment.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
Next up with Bar Napkin Pitch is going to be Jacob Soder with SwimSmart Technologies. We're getting there, folks. I see Jacob. Hi, Jacob. Welcome. SwimSmart Technologies. How are you today?
I'm good. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. We have a little lag, I think, is all.
Okay. Do I have to share again, or is it just automatically queued?
I think you share and then choose the screen.
Okay, you should see it now.
Yep, we do see it now.
All right, thank you. So 1 minute's going to go by quick. Thank you. My name's Jacob Soder. So beach safety is a term that is not spoken very often. Most communities do not even invest in beach safety until after a tragic drowning occurs in their community. There are many risks when swimming in large bodies of water. With all the advancements made in safety technology nowadays, beach safety has kind of been neglected, which is interesting because drowning is a very real issue here in the US, with an average of 3,500 people dying every year. And every time an individual is lost at sea, the Coast Guard, local authorities, fire department spring into action to locate the person. On average, a search and rescue can take 48 hours and cost the community $2.1 million, whether or not the person's even recovered alive. A common safety tool for beach safety are the beach safety flags. These flags portray the status of the water through colored flags and can be used when lifeguards are off duty. However, as you can imagine, changing these flags every day, every time the weather changes, is a ridiculously time-consuming task. In response, what we created is what we call the beach traffic light. Similar to a traffic light on the road, it is an LED that is controlled over the internet, giving your local weather and safety authorities instant control over every beach light across their beach. This light is just the beginning of what a connected beach can offer. Beaches are neglected no more with devices offered by SwimSmart Technologies. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much. So Jacob, stick around with SwimSmart Technologies. Those were hot and fast, and that's how we like to do those bar napkin pitches. We do have the privilege this evening, however, to allow someone to earn a little bit of money. So thank you to Lucid Coast. We're going to have about 2 minutes here to start the voting process again. So if you want to choose Jacob with SwimSmart, you're going to text code 22. If you wanted to pick Mitch DeLong with Innovative, you will text to 11 to that number. In just a moment, our back end folks will get that phone number back on the screen so everybody can see that. But I don't know if it's the same number from the last voting. So you could try that while we wait, but we could get some direction here. Are we using the same phone number, guys? So make a note, Mitchell DeLong, with Innovative will be 1-1, and Jacob Soder with Swim Smart Technologies will be 2-2. Once we get the phone number out to you, you'll want to text 1-1 for Innovative or 2-2 for Swim Smart Technologies, and they're each competing, I guess, sort of, for our Bar Napkin Pitch Prize, sponsored by Lucid Coast. Boom, there it is. 203-529. Go back up, 8755. And we have about 1 minute and 20 seconds for you to listen to me jabber while we wait for this vote to come in. So I have 1 minute. I'm going to make an announcement to save everybody on the time. We do have a job board at TCNewTech. So at TCNewTech.org is the website. And if you have a job available or if you're someone seeking employment, take a visit to TCNewTech.org and click on our job board. It's powered by TrueJob, and they do a fantastic job of providing a platform to share your information and be easily connected. So this has been a great tool for so many in our area, and we would strongly encourage you to consider taking a look through there and potentially putting your information for those job seekers, or if you are an employer that's looking for someone. Ooh, we have 20 seconds, and this is a close call. So y'all are being really fair out there tonight. 1-1 for Innovative, 2-2 for Swim Smart Technologies. You have 10 seconds. You have 5 seconds. Thank you so much from Lucid Coast. We want to congratulate Innovative and Mitchell. Are you coming on the screen, Mitchell? While we're pulling Mitchell up to say congratulations, we want to let you know there's someone out there that wants to say you're both have inspiring ideas. Well done to you both, and thank you TCNewTech for the opportunity to participate as a sponsor. Oh, that's from Keith Glendon. Thank you so much. There he is.
Hello.
Congratulations,
Thank you for those
Mitchell.
kind words, Keith. And thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Well done, and hopefully we'll get an update about how you use those dollars, and we'll be in touch offline to get that money to you. Thank you so much. So thank you again to our main sponsor, Michigan Broadband Services. And if you have an innovative idea or have been working on a startup, we want to encourage you to visit tcnewtech.org. We have applications already available to pitch. We do this every single month, month over month, and we'd love to welcome your ideas. We do have a vetting committee, so somebody will be in touch with you shortly to schedule you. And we're moving on through. There's the job board, tcnewtech.org job board. We want to scroll through to Michigan Broadband. There we go. And we're getting up to the application to pitch. That is a wrap. We are going to be back. I don't know if we're going to be online or in person. You'll have to check us out online and connect with our networks. But September 1st, 2020. And I think Jen has an announcement. Are we meeting up tonight?
What's that, Lisa?
Are we meeting up somewhere tonight?
Yeah, anybody that's local that wants to do a little social distancing over at Silver Spruce Brewery on 8th Street. We have 24 seats reserved outside at a safe distance apart. And we're going to head over there right as soon as this wraps up. And I want to thank everybody for coming, and keep following us on Facebook. You'll find a lot of information, also LinkedIn, Instagram, and think about becoming a member. Membership is what helps support us. And right now, most of our connections are online, but we provide a lot of great information, and we like to make connections between startups, their founders, and investors or job seekers, partners. There's been some great matches made through TCNewTech over the last 5 years. So if we don't see you at Silver Spruce Brewing tonight, we will see you on September 1st, right here for another virtual event. Give us feedback. We'd love to know, any ideas. We're struggling a little bit with the technology. We only do this once a month. So just when you think you have it figured out, another month goes by and you got to figure it all out again. But it's getting there. Stay with us, and who knows what this can turn into, right?
That's right.
And
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
You did a great job. Okay, everybody, have a good night and stay safe out there. Stay well.